I'm going to share with you why a relationship succeeds or fails. I'm actually going to draw a graph here, and I'm going to show you the steps that a relationship goes through. And maybe you will learn something about why your past relationships have failed or succeeded, right? Let's dive in. Every relationship goes through this graph, right? Every relationship starts at the top at this point. And this point is called uninformed optimism. So when you're going into a relationship, you're super excited about it. You love the other person. They're like a ray of sunshine and they can do no wrong. You guys love each other. You spend a lot of time and you're on this like high. You're on a high from the relationship and you really enjoy it. And so this point is called uninformed optimism. You're optimistic, but you don't know the realities of the relationship just yet. And so that's why it's uninformed optimism. The longer your relationship proceeds, the more you stay on this path, you'll come to this point here. And this point is a bit of a low. This point in the relationship is called informed pessimism. The relationship now has come to life. You see who the other person is. Maybe there's some things that they do that you don't enjoy. Maybe they're not always that ray of sunshine that they were in the beginning. And now you see the realities of another human being. And I'm calling it informed pessimism because a lot of people start having negative views of their relationship. They start thinking negatively about the person they're with. Like, you're not the Prince Charming or the princess that I imagined, you know? And so people start feeling like this relationship isn't worth it. And that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make. They leave the relationship at this point. If they stay and they stick through the relationship and they communicate their needs and learn how to do it respectfully, the relationship is going to proceed on an upward trend to this point over here. And this point over here is called informed optimism. The reason why it's called informed optimism is because now you know. You know the reality of the relationship. You've communicated your needs to your partner. You see that they are receiving of those needs and they're changing and they're growing. And you two are doing the same. And so you guys are becoming more harmonious. You're coming together as a unit. And you really know that the relationship can succeed. You can overcome challenges because you've gone through the hard part. You've gone through this dip. You've gone past it. And you can move your relationship forward and eventually have a successful marriage, successful relationship. Whatever your goals are for the relationship, you're going to be able to achieve them. Now, the big mistake that a lot of people do is they leave the relationship at this point, at informed pessimism. They leave the relationship because they say it's their fault or it's his fault, her fault, whatever. And then they go and they seek a new relationship. But guess what? When you go to seek a new relationship, it's going to have the same effect. It's going to start here where you're going to be so excited, then you get to know them and you don't like them as much, and then you leave and you never learn this graph. You never learn to stick through a relationship. You build a bad habit, which is every time you get to know the real person, you leave. You'll never build deeper relationships and you're not going to achieve marriage. You're not going to achieve the goals that these long-lasting marriages and relationships have achieved. Which is you have to have compromise, you have to be patient, you have to have respect, you have to learn how to communicate your needs without feeling like it's the end of the world if I say no or if I need something. You can do it respectfully. There's so many ways to communicate and learn how to be in a healthy relationship. That doesn't involve you leaving every time they do something and then saying they're toxic or they're the ones that don't know anything. A lot of people that are in this loop that always leave relationships at this point, they blame everybody else for the problems. They never take accountability for it themselves. And that's the reason why they're not in successful relationships, because they don't know that they're the problem. So if you're watching this, make sure to share this video so others can learn from it as well. And if you're single and you want to find your soulmate, or if you're married and you want to improve your marriage, go to collectivelymarried.com.